Hi, it's me, back with another Limbus company. Today we have the start of Season 6, which has given us a new Battle Pass and a new target extraction, and 12 thread apparently. Okay. We have Dead Rabbit's boss Meursault, who is certainly an identity. He looks kind of cool, I won't deny it. He's maybe not my preferred aesthetic, though. But we also have Wuthering Heights Chief Butler Outis. So, since this is a new season, we have had our shards halved and our boxes halved. So I only have like 400 boxes, which granted is enough to shard these, but I'm gonna start by doing pulls because honestly, I kind of want to. It's been a while since I've seriously done pulls for IDs, and since it's the start of Season 6, we're going to be getting a lot of resources during Season 6. So it's not going to really be that big of an issue if I use a bunch of my free extraction tickets right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that in addition to these, because these are also free for me anyways, because I've already got the money in the game. And I should probably start saving up shards again for once as well, because that's something I haven't been doing since Season 3, and as a result, I'm almost out. I have like 900 thread, but I am like single-digit shards in everyone except for Rhodia now, because I just got a bunch of her. Okay, game, I see you. That's not okay. Thanks for that. I also haven't looked at them yet, so it'll be cool to actually see what they're like when I get them. So let's go. Hopefully it doesn't take a billion pulls. I haven't gotten...
비가 추적추적 내리는데 이런 날 누가 찾아올 줄은 몰랐군. 술에 절은 개인가?
very lucky with my pulls in recent memories, unfortunately. But it looks like we're doing pretty good so far. I'm gonna want Meursault shards eventually anyways. Yes, let us use some free 10 pulls, shall we? Originally I had been planning on doing my Mirror Dungeon hard run before doing pulls, in case there was an ego in the first 20 levels of the Battle Pass, because that's what's available right now. There is not an ego in the first 20 levels of the Battle Pass, unfortunately. So, sorry. I looked at it. The first ones that are going to be released are Bygone Days, and then the Sheep. God, I'm getting really unlucky, just like always. It feels like I'm just expressly unlucky all the time. And I don't know why. That's a lot of 2 stars. I don't need 2 stars right now. I'm gonna have so many Meursault shards. Let's go down to like... God, I'm getting really bad luck, huh? Why do I pull? It's a question for the ages. There we go.
신발의 흙은 제대로 타셨습니까? 부디 당부드리건대 이 저택에서 제 허락 없이 가구 하나 함부로 건드시지 않는 편이 좋을 겁니다.
There we go. That was what, 70 pulls? Something like that? 70 pulls. I mean, that's within odds, so I guess I shouldn't complain about it.
슬슬 시간을 채워 넣을 때가 됐군. 분수를 모르고 골목에 돌아다니는 갱도 보인다. 시간을 벌 때군.
Is it just me, or does the chains coloring look harsher? Starting the journal entry for today. It continues to rain in this alleyway. The rainfall has been continuing for precisely 135 hours. The rain did intermittently subside a few times during that period, but taking into account the humidity levels and the particulars of the nephological conditions, it can be said that heavy rainfall has been continuing for the entire 135-hour period. I have recommended that the family spend as much time indoors as possible, as heavy rainfall limits the kind of activities that may be conducted outdoors, but Some of them are starting to become restless with cabin fever. The time to collect protection fees is also long past. We are compelled to act. The job itself went rather smoothly, though I must admit in writing this unideal fact that raindrops soaked our coats, which weighed us down. Nothing was out of the ordinary. We successfully collected our protection fees and received sustenance from certain establishments in return for giving them a discount on the said fee. Some fled from us in fear, and some fearless gangsters dared to start a fight with us. We thrashed them all the same. It is a beneficial thing that we are consistently getting those that seek to challenge us, to test their sturdiness against our bats. We can fill our time reserves with theirs, and grow our renown among the gangs of District 20 so that we may rise to the top of the pyramid. It happened once we returned to our base after one such productive day. Of course, I had an inkling that something like this was going to happen. I felt that odd, puzzling gaze on me as I went about my day. It was not so different from that curious gaze of a distant stray cat. Not a murderous gaze, but it was certainly aggressive. Puzzling may be the only word that can describe it. That gaze followed us all the way to the base. With our base discovered, I wondered for a moment if I should reveal our syndicate to this interloper before disposing of him, but my worries were soon resolved. He appeared before us, stumbling like a wet hound, and asked to be accepted as a part of our syndicate. I could tell that he was not a spy of a different gang or some foolish swindler who had more bravado than sense. I saw a pair of ceaselessly wandering eyes, dripping with venom and desperation. He must be someone with a history, though thoroughly dirtied. The clothes on his back were made from obviously expensive fabric. So, I decided to test him. I had to know the extent of his mettle. I have no need for someone who is all bark and no bite, after all. He must be able to decapitate a person if there was a need to do so without getting weak in the knees. So I lied to him that he first had to pass a test to join us. No such foolish ritual existed for the dead rabbits, of course. Luckily, we had a long-standing rivalry with a certain other gang, so it wouldn't be so unexpected if one of us killed one of their lowest-ranking members. I ordered our new recruit hopeful to kill one of them. I was surprised by two things. First was his complete lack of hesitation as he turned around to leave our base. Second was that, when he returned shortly after with blood all over his face and fists, he brought back the corpse stuffed into a sack. A promise is a promise, after all. He now rests at the corner of our base, easing his weary body. I thought I had spent quite the significant amount of time as a boss of this gang, but this kind of surprise does not come often. Perhaps this won't last. Perhaps I have accepted not a hound, but a wolf into our fold. Tonight I sleep expecting great things from this Heathcliff. Why is the loading screen the art for the ID? That's new. They don't normally do that. Yeah, that did kind of look like Heathcliff in the back there, didn't it? So that'll be cool. A cool 3-star when they release it next week. I'm guessing that that's not the ID for the story, but I haven't played the story yet, so I'm not going to, like, be sure on that. I'm also not going to level up this ID yet, because I don't have very many XP tickets. I will probably level it up just to test it out, but there's a good chance that I won't because he doesn't fit with the other ID. So to start off, passives. 3 Gluttony Resonance, buy time. Clash power +1 and a clash against targets with Rupture. Nice. Support, my responsibility. 3 Gluttony Resonance. When one ally with the fastest speed hits an enemy with 6+ Rupture, inflict 1 offense level down 3 times per enemy per turn. It's pretty neat for Rupture. They do need a lot more support when it comes to clashing, because their clashing is not good. You know what? I'm just going to level him up. Oh, right. The level cap went up. We're going to keep doing stuff at level 40. Because I do not have the tickets for this at the moment. Okay, at level 40, he's got 180 HP, which is the average. 4 to 7 speed, which is above average, actually. And 42 defense level, which is interesting. Defense skill, Gluttony Counter. 7 to 13, blunt. On hit, inflict 1 Rupture. Is this the second Gluttony Counter? Because I know 7 Ryoshu has one, but I don't recall any others. I think it is actually just the second Gluttony Counter for the game. Okay, onto his actual skills. Skill 1, 5 to 10 with 1 coin, Lust Blunt, Bat Strike. If the target has 5+ rupture, coin power +1, so it turns into a 5 to 11, which is nothing special. On hit, inflict 2 rupture. Okay, it's a rupture ID. Smackdown. Wrath Pierce, 4 to 14 with 2 coins. It's pretty average. Clash Win, inflict +2 rupture count. Coin 2, on hit, inflict 2 rupture, and on hit, if the target has 6+ rupture, inflict 2 offense level down. That's a lot of rupture needed. And if I remember correctly, this is the only count in his entire kit. Skill 3, Relentless Blunt Gluttony, 4 to 12. On use, if the target has 6+ rupture, coin power +1, so it can become a 4 to 16. Flash Win, inflict 2 offense level down, same turn, not really that interesting. Coin 4 inflicts 4 rupture, and if the target has 6+ rupture, inflict 2 offense level down next turn. This is a rupture ID in the same vein that Dietzi Yi Sang is a sinking ID. It's more of a baseline ID, and it just has a lot of rupture stuff in it. Because he doesn't inflict a lot of rupture, you're probably going to have him on the bench more often than not. Cool things about this ID, though. It's the second rupture ID with Wrath. The first one was 7 Heathcliff. And it's the first Meursault ID with Gluttony, which surprised me when I first heard it, because I just did not know. He didn't strike me as the type of guy to not have any Gluttony, and he just kind of doesn't. Uptie 4, Bat Strike gains 1 coin power by default and gains another coin power on effect activation. So basically it becomes a 5 to 11 that can be a 5 to 13, which is much better. Smackdown can gain a coin power if the target has 6+ rupture, which makes it a 4 to 16, which isn't bad. And they only need 4 rupture for the offense level down. Relentless gains 1 clash power if the target has 3+ rupture, which is very odd. Buy time gains clash power +2 if the target has 5+ rupture count. So is this 3 clash power on his passive? Because if so, that's a lot of clash power. It doesn't say or if the target has 5+ count, gain 2. It's an additional 2 if the target has 5+ count. Well, rupture teams don't have difficulty inflicting count anymore, really. But it's still not going to be that useful unless you're fighting a boss. And my responsibility goes down to 3 instead of what? Instead of 6. So actually the passives get a big boost by being uptie 4, and if you're going to use him as a support passive, then you're going to want him at uptie 4 just for that. Because 3 rupture is so easy. There's a lot of skills that just do that anyways. But yeah, he's like the SE Sang, if you're looking at him from the perspective of rupture. He's a base ID that has rupture on it, so if you run him in a rupture team, he does well. If you don't run him in a rupture team, he's still just kind of there. And so he seems very average to me overall. Especially since you like having rupture infliction in a rupture team. But he's not the star of the show today.
마님이 내리신 선물이군요. 감사히 받아들이겠습니다.
It's him! It's Meursault! Sorry. I have prepared the tea as you have requested. There is a chill in the manner. Please imbibe the tea before it cools. The child placed the cup on the table with such graceful dexterity that it barely made any noise. There wasn't even the infinitesimally small clatter of the teacup against the saucer. This also looks like Heathcliff. Heathcliff exists in 2 universes, huh? Her politely folded hands and slightly bent back did not even flinch from its fixed position. None of this may mean much to someone who's so used to receiving such top-notch service, but anyone who's not would realize something after a quick glance at the child's service. That this child was a highly trained butler. Now, I must leave your side and plan for the reception of guests scheduled to arrive today. Please, pardon my absence. The child bowed courteously at the quiet man, who was fully absorbed in reading the paper in his hands. She walked backward toward the door and exited the corridor. Her movement was smooth and continuous, not allowing even the slightest squeak as she closed the door and on her way out. I can't read right now. Chief Butler Lady Otis. There was another child waiting for her in the corridor. Faust. I trust that the preparation for the guest's reception is going smoothly. She nodded as though she was already expecting to see the other child waiting for her on the other side of the door and began to walking down the corridor. It seemed that the two had been working together for a while. The other child caught up to the child in a most natural, gliding gait. Everything that Chief Butler Lady Otis has ordered has been carried out. Every item entrusted to the dev yacht has also been delivered without delay. Yo! They are all ready to be used for tonight's banquet. Dev yacht first mention? This is the 9 Association. As competent as always. But I will not spare you any compliments, Faust. You must understand why, yes? From a certain perspective, the child's words and expression appeared rather harsh, but the other child's nondescript expression did not change. Perhaps all this was merely routine for her. Yes, such perfection is expected from the butlers of Wuthering Heights, bound to this land. Yes, besides, the child continued, adjusting her monocle. As one of the butlers in a service of our mistress, it would be a shame to serve anything but the utmost excellence. That is fully understood. Very good. I will make sure that the mistress hears of your devotion. The mistress that the child was talking about had been dead for a long, long time, but she acted as though her voice still echoed in her ears. Her attitude was too bizarre to be mere devotion to the dead, too earnest to be an attempt to retain the memory of the departed. It was as though she was holding regular conversations with the long-dead mistress. Every butler under her command knew that there was something strange about this whole affair, but no one dared to question her, because that was the kind of respect that a chief butler commanded. The other child mused the same as she followed from behind. I hear that their chief butler has contacted us. You must be referring to Chief Butler Lady Ryoshu, who left to serve the Edgar family. It has been a while since she left the manor. No need to stick with the honorifics. Chief Butler Ryoshu tells us that the hunt for the wolf is nigh. So the stray hound returns as a wolf, returning to sully Wuthering Heights in her honorable mistress's name once again. Good. This saves me the trouble of venturing out of this place in search of this beast. The child's eyes narrowed. Do you have a problem with that? It is known to us that the wolf was once a very close acquaintance to the mastermind of this hunt, Ryoshu of the Edgar family. Faust is concerned that such emotions may cloud her strategies. Not even Faust has experienced this particular circumstance before. It's simple. The other child was speaking rather anxiously, but the child dismissed her concerns with a light scoff. I have no love for someone who abandoned this land to favor of her master, but a chief butler is a chief butler still. She is not the kind of person to be hung up on old kinships in matters as important as this, no. She will remain fully loyal to the hunt because it is something that she must see to its end. Perhaps it shall inspire an even greater dedication in her. Understood. As their conversation drew to a natural close, the stairs ended and opened up to the manor's grand entrance. It was filled with rows upon rows of butlers awaiting her orders. Interesting. What is all this for? Uninvited guests have arrived prior to the banquet. The butlers stand ready to meet the interlopers. Very well. Then let us use this opportunity as a warm-up before the hunt. The child stood tall before the rows of butlers. There was a group of outsiders standing outside the manor. Their garbs indicated rather clearly that they did not belong here, not that it was any of the child's concern. I apologize for the delayed reception, dear strangers. Though it may be rather discourteous of me to advise you this, I must inform you that this manor is currently not receiving any uninvited guests. The butlers began preparing for combat the moment the child finished her sentence. The child wrapped the serviette she had been carrying over her fist and muttered, Now, dear uninvited guests, vacate the premises if you will. That's Otis for you. Okay, Otis is a sinking ID. Otis is a frail sinking ID. 157 HP at level 40 is among some of the frailest IDs you can have. Average speed, low defense level. This is going to be a very powerful ID before I even read anything it does, huh? Yeah. Passives. 3 Gloom Resonance. When clashing against targets with less than -25 SP, clash power +1 and deal 10% more damage. Deal 15% more damage against targets with Echoes of the Manor. Don't worry about that for now. And when winning a clash without losing a single coin, heal 10 SP. If this unit is already at max SP, gain 2 offense level up next turn, 2 times per turn. That's crazy. That's a crazy passive, even if it is Resonance. And then Butler Training, 4 Gloom owned. Clash power +1 to 1 ally with the most SP when clashing against targets with less than -25 SP. Okay. That's very good. Defense skill. Insolent Fool, 3 to 13 evade. On evade, inflict 1 sinking 3 times per turn. Alright, Yisang. Skill 1. Blunt Pride, 2 coins, 3 to 11. On use, if the target has 7+ sinking, coin power +1, so it can become a 3 to 13. And coin 2 inflicts 2 sinking on hit. Sinking is still kind of hard to build with the IDs that we have available. Skill 2, Dusting. That is a 4 to 16 with 3 coins. Blunt and Gloom. Clash Win, inflict 2 sinking count. Second coin inflicts 3 sinking on hit, third coin inflicts 2. That is not enough count for the entire attack. But that's okay. Skill 3. As Mistress commands, another 4 to 16, Blunt Lust with 4 coins this time. Clash Win, inflict 3 sinking count. Again, not enough for the entire skill. Fourth coin, on hit, inflict 3 Echoes of the Manor next turn, and if the target has Echoes of the Manor, inflict Gloom affinity damage equal to half of sinking potency on the target. So it's like a mini burst. And it does up to 20 Gloom damage. I'm assuming Gloom damage is going to be good in this chapter. Echoes of the Manor. 50% chance to gain +1 sinking count when gaining sinking potency or count from skill or coin effects. It's already really good. Units with SP, change panic type to Echoes of the Manor. When this unit panics, inflict 2 Echoes of the Manor to 2 random allies, other allies of this unit. Units without SP, minus 10% chance to flip heads. That's insane. Reduce by 1 at turn end. This effect is not cumulative. Inflicting it will replace the current value with the inflicted value. So if they're at 2 and you inflict 3, they're at 3. Apply the units without SP conditional to certain enemies that have SP but can't change their panic types. That's interesting, and I don't know where it's going to apply. This seems decent. I wouldn't say it's amazing. Echoes of the Manor is cool, because it's just really good sinking support, though the fact that it's only a 50% chance really stinks. But whatever. At Uptie 4, knocking gains 1 coin power if the target has 2 less sinking than before. Okay. Dusting gains 1 coin power if the target has sinking, so it can become a 4 to 19 if the target has 5 sinking. And as Mistress commands, gains 1 coin power if the target has 7 or more sinking, so it can be a 4 to 20. And the cap on the Gloom affinity damage from the effect is raised to 30. Insolent Fool becomes a 4 to 14 evade that can inflict sinking 6 times per turn. When clashing against targets with less than 0 SP, clash power +1 and deal plus 20% more damage. Deal 30% more damage against targets with Echoes of the Manor, and gain 3 offense level up next turn if you clashed without losing a coin. That's a lot of good effects. That's a lot of good effects. This is an Uptie 4 ID. Yeah, let's just get her to Uptie 4 really quick. Alright. We are bringing the Sinking Crew plus Meursault. Because unfortunately, I don't know. I'm not going to Uptie him to 4 for now, because I don't plan on using him for the time being. He is good, but not good enough. I'll be real with you.
불청객을 맞이할
So,
시간인가 보군요.
who's it selected?
불청객을
We are
맞이할
bringing the
시간인가
sinking squad plus Dead Rabbit's boss Meursault. It's good that we have more. Would have been nice to have more on a character who did not already have a sinking ID, looking at G-Corp Otis. Both of these guys are pretty snazzy looking, though. So that's cool. For now, we just clash. Honglu not being able to clash well, it kind of sucks. So all of the passives being resonance-based is going to be slightly awkward. Not for Otis, because getting 3 Gloom Resonance is not hard. I should have brought Reindeer Ishmael, so that the resonance was actually better, too. Oh well. Let's check out these IDs. I feel like Otis specifically is going to be insane no matter what. Because an all-blunt sinking ID is just really good in general. I am not getting good skills for Honglu today. That's alright. We'll get them eventually. The unfortunate part about sinking is that we really still need to rely on Rhyme Shank, which kind of sucks, unfortunately, but that guy has plenty of sinking, though, and so Otis is going to beat the crap out of him. Good God.
정리하겠습니다. 물결하는 것.
She ends with a Luigi kick. She ends with a Luigi down taunt. What? Bruh. Alright, let's check this out. Clash power -1, deal 10% more damage on heads hit? Echoes of the Manor, low morale? Okay. But yes, we now have Echoes of the Manor as an effect. I do also want to see Meursault's skill 3, even though I'm pretty sure I know what it'll look like. Because Meursault is cool. The fact that both of these IDs are very blunt heavy kind of suggests that this chapter is going to be good for blunt damage, at least at the start. I'm going to be streaming myself playing the new chapter on Twitch, not YouTube, after I am done with the premiere today. And I will tell you right now, we're not running syncing. Like, these IDs are cool, don't get me wrong, but I do also just kind of want to play the stuff that I had leveled up for use in the chapter, which is not syncing, so... but they seem pretty good. And by they, I mean Otis. Otis seems very strong, regardless of team. But that's just become synced because syncing is very strong, regardless of team. You could have attacked anyone else with that, by the way. Yo, that little bat tap right before he starts attacking is so swaggy. He's so cool. I love Meursault in any case. Yeah, why does she end with a Luigi down taunt? Like, what is she doing? It's so slick. Sneaking that in there, man. Also, other thing is that it's really easy to get the Gloom Resonance if you're running syncing, and you only need 3. So like, Otis is just gonna slap people about. Like this. The animations are nice and speedy. They have weight to them. Well, they don't really have weight to them, I'll be honest. Meursault's have a lot of weight to them. And so he's cooler. Yeah, we're to the point. I mean, if you see, none of these skills on syncing clash super high. It's got the same issue Rupture has, really. Except it's more pronounced with the Rupture because clashing is all you need to do, and syncing at least has a bunch of tanks in it. Like Mariachi Sinclair, Dietzi Sang, Dietzi Rodia. Honglu is not a tank, but he's very good, so like, that kind of works. I'm really surprised that Otis isn't a tank, though. She's really fast, really high damage, no defense whatsoever. Which is fine. IDs can still be good like that. But Heathcliff being the wolf. I've never read Wuthering Heights. I don't know what that means. But it's an interesting thing that Heathcliff is actually part of the Dead Rabbits and not a member of the Manor in that mirror world. Interesting. But we'll have to see how it plays out, because obviously I haven't started playing the story yet, so, you know. Yusang lost his clash. I mean, that's the thing with pirates. You kind of just lose clashes against them sometimes. Oh, rip that guy. Wish that were me. Sorry. What the heck was that move? She did like a drop kick. All right. To end off, we Otis her. Rodeo's so tanky. Perish. Okay, yeah, it seems pretty significant. Sinking was in need of another good ID, and we'll probably get at least 2 more from the sounds of it. Faust and Ryoshu, with Faust being a 2-star and Ryoshu being a 3-star. Probably. As we can see, Otis did do the most damage. I mean, that was kind of the point. And the fact that Meursault wasn't last is pretty significant. Since we weren't running him in Rupture. So I'll take that as a sign that he's at least good. And there we have it. Those are the most recent 3-star IDs. All of them are level 40 at Uptie 4, so if you want to test any of this stuff out, feel free. I'm not going to put Meursault here because he really doesn't need to be here. But on that note, I hope that you enjoyed this. Again, I will be streaming, if not immediately after this video is done premiering, then very shortly after. And we will be going through the first section of Chapter 6 live on Twitch. The Twitch channel will be linked in the description, and I'm sure I'll put it in the chat. Aside from that, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend, and I hope that you come back again. Bye!